So you launch a new generation of Mustang, you increase the price a lot, and you find out the sales aren't what you expected. So what do you do to fix it? You increase the price even more. Yes, we're talking about the 2025 Mustang pricing, and as you know that the pricing is already pretty high for the 2024 Mustang model year. A lot of the owners that are prospect buyers made the comment the Mustang's gotten way too expensive. I'm in that same camp. Compared to the S650 Mustang, there aren't that many significant improvements that you can justify the price tag for. And when you're getting the same car for $4,000 or $5,000 more, it becomes a little bit difficult to buy that S650 Mustang. So Ford recently launched the 2025 Ford Mustang, and the pricing was just revealed. And while we didn't expect the price to go down, we expect the price to remain relatively flat because we saw a significant increase from the 2023 model year to 2024 model year, and we expect some new goodies from the Mustang. Well, Ford increased the price almost 10 to 15% over a model year with literally no changes for the 2025 model year. Yes, you get a couple new colors and all of that stuff, but nothing where you would say the 25 is better than 24. If anything, they removed wireless charging from all the Mustangs because there was some overheating issue. So today I want to talk about not only just the price increases of the 2025 Mustang, but also what it means for the future of the Mustang or the affordable American muscle car. So let's get the pricing out of the way. The 2025 Mustang GT is going to be $47,000, which is up from almost $43,500 to $44,000 if I recall correctly. And the premium is going to be $52,000. Again, it's approaching a territory that is very expensive. Not too many years ago, you could get a GT350 for around mid-50s or so. Now we're talking about a GT Premium, not even a Dark Horse, GT Premium at $52,000, which is, in my mind, has lost all of its value of being the affordable pony car. Interestingly enough, EcoBoost did not see any price increase. It's just GT and the Dark Horse. And for Dark Horse, we unfortunately officially have a $70,000 Mustang without any markup. So imagine paying $70,000 for a Mustang Dark Horse. And it's not even a Shelby, not a 350, not a 500, just a base Mustang. I wouldn't call it a base Mustang, a 5.0 Mustang with the track stuff that you're probably not going to use that much, costing you $70,000. And that's, of course, without the dealer markup. So with the dealer markup, we were already seeing the 2024 Mustang Dark Horse to be approaching $70,000. But with this one, MSRP at $70,000, you're easily going to see $80,000, $85,000 Dark Horse premiums, which is going to be absolutely crazy, which I just can't wrap my mind around paying $70,000, $80,000 for a Mustang that's got a 5.0. When the 2020 GT500 was launched, it was MSRP at $70,000. So compare that, the value package of the 2020 GT500 to the 2024, 2025 Mustang Dark Horse is completely no-brainer. If you had both cars in front of you for the same price, everyone I know will be picking the GT500. Let's shift focus back to the GT because that's what sells the most compared to the Dark Horse or the Mach 1 when we had the S650 Mustang. The GT has always been, the affordable way to get into a V8. Now we finally have a Mustang GT costing almost $50,000 for a base Mustang with no options, cloth seats, no active exhaust, not even automatic transmission. Complete base car, as you can imagine. If you want to go for the premium, it's $52,000. Again, that's also without any options. If you spec out the 401A package, which is about $3,000 extra, if you spec out performance pack, which is $5,000 extra, then you get the active exhaust, black accent pack. Once you kind of factor all of these in, you're well into close to $65,000 for a Mustang GT Premium. I just cannot believe the Mustangs have gotten so expensive. I get it that all the cars are getting pretty expensive these days, but Mustangs, I just never thought would kind of lose this affordable pony car segment. And one of the major problem is for that amount of money, like if you're in $65,000, $70,000 territory, you've got a lot of options. You got a base C8 Corvette that you can buy brand new from the factory. There's a lot of discounts on those now. You can even get 1-year-old M3, M4, brand new M2 probably. There's just so many options for the price, and they're arguably better performing cars than the Mustang. That's coming from a huge Mustang fan. But those cars have better interiors, they perform better. Mustang has always had this value proposition that you can get a V8, very comparable performance for like 40 grand. So you're not really gonna ding on the interior because it's a much cheaper car. But now, not so much. These cars are approaching $65,000, $70,000, which is pretty crazy. And even if you wanted a base V8, it's still close to $50,000. There's a lot more options I can probably think of that you can get maybe slightly used, a year, 2 years old, with pretty much no miles, that you can get for $50,000 than buying that. And I think I have to say, this is all coming down to one thing: lack of competition. We've seen it before when the Mustang back in, I want to 2005, the S197 was launched. There was no Camaros, there was no Firebird, there was no Charger, there was GTO, but it's kind of priced out of it, which meant there was no true competition. Ford stuck out with the 4.6 3-valve, making hilariously 300 horsepower for that time, which was still less than Firebird and Camaro of the LS1 body, the F bodies, that had the almost 350 horsepower. So it wasn't until 2010 when the Camaro relaunched and the Challenger came back where Ford put the 5.0, because from a business standpoint, if you don't have to spend money, why would you, right? And that's exactly what's happening here. We don't have Camaro, we don't have Challenger. Well, we're gonna get the EV Challenger. We don't have any real competition, so Ford can increase the price and get away with it, because this is a V8 muscle car. So it's not some turbo 6 car that even if you don't want it from the American manufacturer, there's other manufacturers making that. This is very unique. The naturally aspirated 5.0 with a manual transmission. It's a very unique combination that Ford is still offering, which I have to say I'm still thankful that Ford is still making the V8s and the manual transmissions. Even though we got the MT82, still better than nothing. But because there's no competition, if you really want a American muscle car, pony car, affordable, I guess if you can call it that, if you really want a V8 manual transmission, this is your only option in the market. If you want to go brand new, this is your only option. So that's how Ford can get away with it. They can charge a premium to be able to have one of the last V8s of this era before we all kind of transition to this hybrid and EVs. And I just feel like until we get some competition in, maybe Chevy decides to revive Camaro, or Dodge decides to revive, give us one of the V8 options, it's just gonna be no competition, which means Ford can charge whatever they want. And if you want a V8, if you want a manual transmission, you're gonna have to pay the price Ford is commanding. So, and that's one of the things, like, I thought there wasn't much difference between the S550 and the S650, but my thought was, like, I can wait a year or two and maybe get a GT. So the first couple years, the quirks are kind of sorted out. But with these prices, the GT does not make sense. The 50,000 plus GT is, to me, just absurd. It just doesn't make any sense to get a GT at that point. Dark Horse, forget about it. 60,000 for a Dark Horse was but paying 70,000 for a Dark Horse, it's just not on the table. Mach 1 seems somewhat of a realistic option if I want to upgrade, but it's pretty much the same car. So let's see what I'm going to end up doing with the S650 Mustang, because with these prices, paying that much for pretty much the same car, I know for a fact I'm not going to be happy with it. So let me know, guys, what you think about the significant increase on the S650 Mustang, the 2025 model year. And comment below if you're in the market. Does that kind of deter you away from buying the S650 Mustang because of these prices? And of course, subscribe to Red 50 for more updates on the 2025 Mustang pricing.